Hi friends, Lindsay here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. This week we are going to do my Big Happy Planner dashboard spread for my creative journal. So let's get started. So this week I wanted to do a pineapple theme spread in honor of doing my egg retrieval this week for IVF. Pineapples are a big symbol in the infertility community, so that's why I wanted to use that. Also, I feel like they're really happy and cheerful, so I wanted something that was gonna boost my mood a little bit. So I already went ahead and did a quick sketch on these two pieces of paper of my pineapple. So now I'm just going to cut it out here. If you think that things sound a little bit different, I actually decided to do this video. I filmed it really fast and now I'm just doing a voiceover. So currently I'm laying in my bed recovering from my egg retrieval. So right now I'm just cutting out the crown of the pineapple. So stay tuned for this whole video because there is actually quite a bit of a plot twist on this. I kind of changed my mind halfway through on what I was doing, so stay tuned for that. So I'm just finishing cutting out this crown. Believe it or not, this is actually sped up to double time, so this will just show how slow of a planner I am. Next week, I promise I'm going to just try to do a plan that just involves stickers and it's just a quick video. Although this spread that I'm doing right now, I actually did not use any stickers except for a few boxes that I'll throw in later on. So, I mean, there's that. Trying to save myself a little bit of money. So here's my pineapple. So I'm just going to use a little Distress ink and Wild Honey, and I'm going to just ink the edges. I feel like it just kind of softens up the edges and gives it a little more depth. So it makes the lines not look quite so harsh after just cutting them, and also kind of makes it look a little more even where, I didn't cut as straight as I would have liked to. So I just inked the edges of the bottom of the pineapple, and now I'm going to go in with Lucky Clover and ink the edges of the crown. So how's everybody else doing today? I'm currently laying in my bed, recovering, as I said, the blanket over my head, trying to record this. I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can because our AC is not working, so I'm sitting in our room with a window unit going, trying to get by. So I am using one of the new papers from Heidi Swapp, the Sun Chaser line that she has going on. So I'm just going to cut out some of the tags that she has on the back. This is a really great way to not use stickers. It's just one piece of paper pretty much that I use for the whole thing. Just got all the tags on one side, and then the other side obviously one pattern paper. I really like this paper because not only is it, bright and fun for summer, but it also has some quotes that I really liked on it. So I'm just marking this pink polka dotted paper. I'm going to rip the edges to put along the bottom of the paper. This is one of the few spots of the paper that I decided that I could probably live without it, so that's where I'm ripping. It's the one thing I hate about double-sided paper is that if you like both sides, it's really hard to part with one or the other. So I'm just ripping off a little more of the extra on the edge, and then I'm going to put that along the bottom of the page. And then put my pineapple right on top. So I'm going to attach these to my page just using a little tape runner. I usually get the ones from Hobby Lobby. I think I'll have to link it in the bio below because I don't remember what it's called, but it's one of their cheaper ones, but it actually works pretty well. So I'm just going to attach the ground to the pineapple using my tape runner. I don't actually know why the pineapple is a symbol for infertility, but it is, so I just wanted to use it. So right now I'm just lining the outside of the pineapple, just giving it kind of a rough edge just to kind of, I feel like it makes it look a little more complete, a little more fun. But I always do 2 lines, like I said, I think in my last video, that I do 1 line is straight as I can, and then the second line I just kind of doodle along the other line just to make it look like it's not supposed to be perfect. If that makes any sense. I actually think next creative journal that I do, I'm going to actually probably use the vertical spread. Once this year is over, I'll go through and use the rest of my dashboard, but I just feel like it's a little more, the left side of the paper kind of overwhelms me. Like there's just too much space to fill in. So I kind of like plus I don't love having the lines. I like being able to just kind of write wherever I want to. So I kind of like the vertical spread better. So I'm just going to cut a few more of these tags. Getting a whole bunch of text messages right now from my husband and my mother-in-law talking about our cruise that we're going on in September to Europe. Doing research on videos and stuff. So if I'm getting distracted, sorry about that. I really liked that quote on the paper. That's kind of why I got it. It says, always on a journey, which this, infertility journey has been way longer than I ever would have liked, but it's definitely been a journey. I'm really hoping that we're coming to the end of our journey in a good way. Hopefully once we get through this IVF cycle, after we get back from our trip to Europe, we're going to do another transfer, and I really hope that it's a successful one. I am definitely counting down the days, though, until we go to Europe. I am so excited. I have never been to Europe before, so this will be a first. We are doing a Mediterranean cruise, and we're flying into, I think, Milan. And then we are going to take a train down to Rome, do Rome for a couple days, and then we get on our boat, and we go to a few stops in Italy. And then I think we go to Israel, Egypt, we end in Greece. So a lot of, obviously, all places I've never seen, but I cannot wait to go to Italy and Greece. I've been on my 2 top lists forever. I've wanted to go to Italy ever since I was in 5th grade. I did a report on Michelangelo and wanted to go to Florence ever since then. Also, While You Were Sleeping, she was always on her list of things to do, just to go to Florence. And I always just loved that at the end. He gives her a stamp in her passport. So basically this is just me rearranging 100 times, trying to figure out how to place all these tags. And I know at the time I was thinking that something is off on this. This is not working the way I wanted it to. So just keep on playing around, moving things, cutting out new things, adding more things, like that's gonna help fix my problem. I also liked that quote, "Love is all around you," because I just felt like, going through our retrieval, which was on Monday, that, knowing that I'm surrounded by love and support just, helps make me feel a little bit better. So here I'm actually putting something else on the paper. Everything else is just floating around. Nope, that's white out. really love pink and yellow together. I just feel like they're very cheery and happy. Well, this is the plot twist. I just decided that, this pineapple, as much as I loved it, was just not going with everything else. So I decided to scrap that and, remove it. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that it was not a waste, and I did end up using it in my vertical spread for this week. So not all was lost. And I feel like that spread just came out really good. This spread, when I'm done, comes out really good. So I feel like I made the right choice taking it off. I just wish I had started with using that on my vertical spread and not wasted all that time. But, it is what it is. So now I have a little more space to try to maneuver all these, pieces around. I mean, they're still going to move a few more times, but we're going to start sticking stuff on paper again, finally. So if any of you have been to Europe or Italy, comment below and let me know what some of your favorite things are to see and do there. I will take any suggestions. I want to see all the things. Obviously, the Vatican. I want to see the Sistine Chapel. We might take a little trip into Venice, do a gondola ride. I would like to do that. Mostly just drink all the wine. Italian wine has been on my list too. I want the real stuff right from Italy. I want to sit on a vineyard and, drink my wine. I also really need to get back on my Italian lessons. I downloaded the Babbel app trying to learn some Italian before we go so I could somewhat communicate with people. But I kind of fell off the wagon when I got super into all this planning stuff, and most of my time has been occupied with, making my planner, writing in my planner, filming videos in my planner, that I need to just get back onto the Italian wagon. So I decided to add in some washi tape. I'm using a teal color to kind of bring in some of the teal around. I felt like it was getting a little pink heavy, so I wanted something to kind of break up the pink a little bit. I would have really liked yellow washi tape, but I didn't have any, so I feel like the teal was pretty good. So far, the only thing I can remember from my Italian is un vino rosso, per favor, which means a red wine, please. Which, I mean, if I don't learn anything else, then I feel like I'm still good to go. That's all I really need to know. Maybe learn how to say where's the bathroom. So I'm using another piece of Heidi Swapp's sun catcher line. I'm just using one little, the little end piece of her paper because I didn't want to completely, break into that for just a little bit. So thankfully the little end tab was pretty, and so I just cut that off. I'm just going to add that to the bottom. Okay, so I'm just tape running that down. I feel like we're making progress now. Once I got rid of that pineapple, I felt like things moved a little bit faster because pineapple was just throwing me off. It just didn't match. I also like this little quote there because it's got a rainbow on it, which is also, a big symbol in the infertility world. Once you've had a bunch of losses, any baby that comes after that is considered your rainbow baby. So praying for my rainbow baby coming up this year. I'm using this big box here on Friday because I'm going to see the New Kids on the Block concert. Pretty excited about that. Where's my 80s and 90s babies at? I actually never saw New Kids on the Block growing up. This will actually be the first time I've actually seen them in concert. So, because I feel like I was kind of on the younger side when they were big. I was still, a kid. I loved them, but kind of a little small for concerts. And then obviously once I got older, they weren't really that big anymore. Then I became more of a in sync kid. But I'm excited to see New Kids on the Block, and I'm actually really excited to see Salt and Peppa. They're there, Rick Astley's there, In Vogue is there. It's like their remix tour. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun. I'm hoping that I'm fully recovered by them and ready to sing and dance and also walk up a lot of steps because we are way up in the nosebleeds. I need to bring my binoculars so that I can see anything. But the tickets were only like $30, so it's okay. I don't really need to see them. I just need to be able to sing. Does anybody else stare at their papers for like ever, just trying to figure out the exact perfect spot that this needs to be in? If it's off center just a little bit, somehow it's just not right. I need therapy, I think. That's the problem. Even with this sped up to double time, it's still pretty slow. I'm just going to add a little bit more washi to the left side of the page to kind of carry that and break up a little bit of the pink over there. I just feel like the dashboard spread is really not that great for, I mean, maybe for some people it is, but for me, not that great for my creative journal because I feel like I usually use the top, right corner for my gratitude list, but all the other sections, I don't use it for, phone call list or emails or errands because all that stuff goes in my catch-all planner. So I just feel like that side of the page kind of goes unused a little bit. So I'm always just trying to fill in extra decorations to fill in some space so I don't have to try to write over there too. So I definitely think going to a vertical spread next year for my creative journal is the way to go. I also need to really get better at writing in my creative journal. The last couple weeks I've really not done very well. I had a really cute spread with the, what's it called? The watercolor with the, cosmic watercolor, that's what it's called. And it was really cute, and then I never wrote anything in it, so I never got to post it after the pen because there's nothing written, not one thing. Then I think the next week I did pretty good and wrote in that. And this past week, I need to catch up on that. So I'm doing some back planning in my creative journal. There's just not enough hours in the day trying to get all of this done and work a full-time job and take care of a house. Lord help me when I actually do have a kid trying to do all that. How do you people do it? I don't understand. Just cutting off a little bit of that edge of that piece, and then I'm going to add in some boxes, and I found a couple colors that matched as close as I could find from Kellowa Plan in her Neutral Basics book. I found some pinks that matched as close as I could find. Using a few of those, just to add in some extra space to write, and I feel like having just smaller spaces helps me a little bit. And I also found some aqua colored boxes in her Bright Florals. There was a few of those that, again, matched as good as I can. I really need to invest in some Mojo Jojo Plans boxes because I feel like she just has tons of them, and I always feel like I'm just going through her sticker books trying to find boxes that match, and a lot of the time I don't find any. Or if I did have them, I've already used them. I did add that Always on a Journey on Tuesday, which I know takes up quite a bit of room, but today is Tuesday and I pretty much have done nothing, so there's really not a lot to write in there. I've taken a lot of naps and did a recording for this video, and that was pretty much it. Yesterday I came over my retrieval and took a 4-hour nap. Today I think I took a 3-hour nap. I feel like the anesthesia is still there a little bit. I feel like we are almost in the home stretch there. We're almost done. So last couple boxes. That's it for boxes. So I just feel like I need something there. I did have these little popsicles, so I just decided to, cut them out real quick. Something to just kind of pop into a couple empty spaces that, some people are just fine with empty spaces. I have a hard time with them. I just always feel like it just needs one more thing, just one more. So I have 3 little popsicles. I'm just going to place down on the page. I do like things in 3s, so I've read somewhere or saw somewhere, I don't know, that if you put things in 3s and kind of make them so that they make a triangle, it kind of helps draw the eye across the page. I don't know if that's true or not, but I kind of always do it anyways. I'm just going to use my tape runner to carefully try to put some tape on there. I couldn't find my little glue pen, so I feel like that would have been easier for such small pieces, but my tape runner will just have to do. Then I decided to go on with a couple of stamps from Heidi Swapp. Used a couple of her quotes just to kind of, again, fill in some white space that I unnecessarily need to fill in. So I'm just using some Distress Oxide and Black Soot. I'm doing this little stamp that says Brighter Days Ahead, which I thought was very fitting. Hopefully there are brighter days ahead. And then I did this press pause on Tuesday because it's when I'm supposed to be recovering. So I'm trying to take it easy. And then for the weekend, I decided to do the Fun Shine stamp because, it's just fun. I'm hoping by this weekend I'll be back to, as much of my normal self as I can be at the moment. So then I decided to use some cracked pistachio with a couple of these leaf stamps. I feel like cracked pistachio is probably one of my favorite of the, distress colors. It's just, I don't know that it totally matches this, but it's close enough, and I just love it. Granted, I love most greens, pretty much any green. It's just my favorite color. I feel like it just kind of takes and, fills in a couple of those spaces, especially on the left side where, I really struggle with that side of the page, so. A couple more. And I feel like that is just going to wrap things up. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.